Hey y'all, welcome to my Halloween special video where I'll be talking about the spooky stuff. Your mom naked with like talking angel in her eyes. So for a while now I've been seeing a trend of psychological horror being held as the golden standard, and with that most people came to a natural conclusion that jump scares are kinda bad or at least cheap. A statement I see a lot is that jump scares are used as a cheap way of scaring the viewer, and that it's basically a cop-out because it doesn't necessarily need a build-up in order to be effective. You can just do a jump scare like that and it'll be scary. And before I go any further, I need to disclose that a lot of the times this is true, okay? I am in the wrong here. Psychological stuff should be held as the golden standard. I fully understand that it's much harder to couple something scary together without relying on jump scares. Anyone who says I have debris in the place of my brain is right. But with that being said, allow me to explain why jump scares are way scarier to me than any psychological horror can be. Also, so yeah, let's get into it. This whole idea about why I felt the need to defend the reliable, overused, probably cheap as hell jump scare was because me, my friend and my beautiful girlfriend decided to watch Uzumaki. And I really liked Uzumaki as a manga, but after watching through it, I still kinda liked it. I thought it was faithful to the original despite cutting some things short and changing the order things are happening, and obviously the huge nosedive in animation quality. Despite that, I still found it enjoyable. But I noticed the big difference of me watching this versus me reading this. It never made me feel scared. It made me feel intrigued and grossed out, which also happened in the comics, but it never had that oh fuck, oh hell. It never had that covering my eyes moment or going into the YouTube comments moment. And I think a big reason for that was because of the lack of jump scares. However, in the comics I had the experience of a jump scare, and I know, oh my god, it's just a comic, how could I have an experience of a jump scare on fucking paper? And just allow me to explain. In the first chapter of the manga we follow this girl who's this boy's girlfriend, and they are boyfriend and girlfriend. Aww. What's not really aww is that the boyfriend's dad has been seemingly obsessed with spirals lately. He has all kind of spiral related stuff in his room. He only eats when there's spiral in his food. He only bathes when the water's spiraling, and over the chapter this spiral related stuff becomes worse gradually, and it's like we're waiting for the dad to do something horrible because we know that something horrible is gonna happen. That's the reason we're reading a Junji Ito manga. So after all of this, it completely earns its moment when the dude and his mom get home only to find the house completely empty except for the dad's room, and there's this big ass tub or something, and as they get the lid off of it, there's this 2-panel illustration of the dad being completely spiraled inside of the tub, and they shook my ass with that. It was a complete jump scare for me despite only reading it, because the panels were done in such a way where it feels like a jump scare, and that's so cool. And I never saw the power of panel magnitude used in such a way. Now let's take a look at the anime adaptation.
In the middle of his study was this huge, strange-looking tub just sitting there.
When did he get this?
Don't get me wrong, this is a powerful and creepy reveal, but for my lizard-ass brain this was nowhere near the terror and oh fuck going into the YouTube comments as the comic was. And this example I just laid out might be faulty for some of you. Someone could easily say, hey dumbface, it's probably just because you already read the comic, you knew what was coming. And to that I say again, I am still in the wrong here. But I also say that no. And in order to tell you why I believe that I can get jump scared by the same thing that I know is coming twice, first we need to talk about the ocean. And GTA. And World of Warcraft, and a little bit of Subnautica. Okay, a lot of things, you get it. The very first jump scare I had the misfortune of experiencing was back in 2008, at 4 years old. I was watching my brother play a lot of GTA San Andreas, and I remember him getting into the ocean and seeing all the wildlife in there, and I thought, damn, do you think there are new kind of enemies in this bitch? You know, despite all of the people and cops you shoot in the face during the game. And so I searched up something like GTA water enemies, and I saw a video of a mod, a shark mod to be specific, and when I tell you that this video is why my brain functions in the way it does today, I mean it.
Ah, motherfucker! Ah! 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 Ah!
Looking back on it, it is a tiny bit goofy how CJ's reaction to getting in the mouth of a big white shark is "Ow, motherfucker!" But tell that to 5-year-old me, because god damn! Everything I'm afraid of today can be tracked back to this video. Sharks being underwater and jump scares. After seeing this, I fully connected seeing large bodies of water with scary, spooky, shit your pants jump scares. And thankfully, a lot of games realize that large bodies of water can be ominous and scary as shit. And now, with my brain plagued by the thought of water equals jump scares, both jump scares and water became exponentially more terrifying. So when I saw that in World of Warcraft, when you go to the very top of Walden, I don't know how to say that, but I guess it's Walden, and you descend into the water far out from land, you can lay eyes on this beast. And that still creeps me out to this day. Just to see this 8-legged gigantic freak waddle around like it's nothing. To even think that I can go towards it and it can go towards me absolutely sent me. But what you might notice here is that this squid Easter egg is just that, an Easter egg. It just stands there chilling. So how does this play into jump scares being good and cool? Well, you see, after I made a Pavlovian response out of jump scares when I see large bodies of water, I thought for sure that if I stare enough at this big ass squid, eventually it will do something. It'll jump on me and suck my face off and shit. And just the thought of it doing anything other than just standing there amplified my terror so much, because the potential for a jump scare was always there, and that's why I'm way more scared of jump scare horror than any kind of horror, because I'm more scared of the chance that there might be a jump scare rather than the actual jump scare. That's why when I first watched the Uzumaki anime, I was dreading, because I knew that that scene with the dead being spaghettied would come, and I totally thought they were gonna pull a jump scare on me, and then the scene came and they didn't. And for a lot of people that might have been way better, and I'm totally fine with people preferring to be scared by imagery and atmosphere rather than big scary PNG. But the moment I anticipated something to be a jump scare and it wasn't a jump scare, all of the adrenaline from my body took his little coat up, took his little head up and said bye-bye for the rest of the episodes. The second I realized that they are not playing with my stupid monkey instincts, I was not scared at all. All of this brings me to the epitome of my personal scary thing. Like, out of everything that's in this world, there's nothing that I fear more. Not even talking Angela comes close, and she's pretty fucking scary. She has like people in her eyes and I already talked about the big three of scaring me: sharks, underwater stuff and jump scares. Subnautica basically has all of that if you gave it math. What you need to know is that I watched through the entire thing by the time I started playing it. So I already knew everything. I knew that the first region I get tossed into basically has nothing scary in it, and yet I had to give myself a monologue to jump in the water, like at all. The very first thing you do is jump in the water, and my ass could not do it, even though I watched through the entirety of it. That's how much the underwater has me by the balls. But the absolute biggest moment of terror for me in any form of media has to be the meetup with the Reaper. For those of you that don't know, the Reaper is the most iconic enemy in Subnautica, mostly known for scaring the shit out of players. You first meet this fucker near the wreck of the ship that you fell onto this planet with, and because I already knew what kind of enemies are there, I had my diapers up for this mission. But then I heard its iconic roar that's so fucking loud you can easily distinguish it from anything else, and I froze up inside of the game. I didn't wanna move my mouse or my little fucking ship or anything, because I knew that it was close and it's gonna get me, and I was there like, I'm done, like, I'm dead, it's over. And then the jump scare happened and it was as scary as I thought it would be, aka very fucking scary. Like, I was alone in my room and I wanted to be quiet because it would be weird for me to be screaming alone in my room, and I still let out an audible like going into the YouTube comments shit. But the worst thing out of this was that getting a jump scare did not put me in a fail state. This gigantic shit inside of the ocean did not kill me with the scariest jump scare I ever experienced. Instead it left me with my ship that's basically being held together by my willpower of not wanting to go out into the cold dead ocean and the hacker inside of the eye of talking Angela. And I just couldn't. I could not keep up with the game like that. I just Alt F4 and I haven't touched the game since. If that isn't perfectly executed straight dread into my veins, nothing is. Congratulations Subnautica for making me shit my pants, and congratulations to you for making it to the end of my video. I hope I could explain why I love the power of jump scares so much. If you had any experience like this, I would gladly hear your stories about that. But for the time being, that's all I had for today. If you enjoyed this, please consider to subscribe and like and everything. I'm gonna go now. I love y'all and bye bye.